Live from Indianapolis, Indiana, welcome to the Crossroads Sports Radio Show, presented by Scott K. Nichols and State Farm Insurance. And now, here's your hosts, Brandon Reef and Jonathan Birdsong.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Crossroads Sports Radio, episode number 245. I'm your host, Brandon Reef. I'll be joined momentarily by my main man, Jonathan Birdsong. Tonight we've got recap. Super Bowl is over. The Super Bowl is finished. The Kansas City Chiefs have won the Super Bowl. We've got recap the Super Bowl, our thoughts, halftime show thoughts. We've got news and notes from around the NFL as well. The Indianapolis Colts have made their head coaching selection. We'll talk that as well as some notes around the league. The NBA, we'll talk Indiana Pacers and the NBA in general update. We did do a live after the NBA trade deadline from last week, so catch that. It's posted as well. So we'll talk Indiana Pacers. We've got the All-Star weekend going on. We'll talk that and more. We've got college basketball. We'll give the Purdue Boilermaker update. We'll give the Indiana Hoosiers update, as well as we'll give out Ball State update. We'll talk that. Golf is back. This past weekend we had the Waste Management Open. We'll talk golf. We've got Daytona, the Daytona 500 this weekend going on. We've got WWE Elimination Chamber this Saturday night, and then as well as we've got the XFL that is actually starting back up. So all that and more. We're joined as always by my main man, Jonathan Birdsong. JB, how are you?
Doing just fine, man. What's going on, man? Hey, dude, Brandon, I don't know about you, man, but like Monday, I didn't really drink a whole lot or have a whole lot of, other celebratory activities with the Super Bowl on Sunday. But like, man, I had a sports hangover. We had like so many other things happen on Sunday besides the Super Bowl, and we know the Super Bowl is of course important, right? But like, man, I really had a sports hangover, man. I mean, I'm tapped into sports like 365, 24/7. Everybody knows this, right? You know what I mean? But like, man, real big sports hangover, man. I know we got a new coach. The Colts got a new coach. We got, new Super Bowl champion 2-time. Hey, man, that man, Patrick Mahomes, ain't moonwalking to the Hall of Fame now. You know what I'm saying? But like, dude, yeah, we got a lot to talk about. Like, man, where do we start at?
Absolutely. Let's start. We might as well start with the NFL. I've got a big hot take that I'm going to save for a little bit later. Not NFL.
Okay, more
NBA driven.
Oh, not more NBA driven. Okay, man. Well, hey. Besides that, what else? I also know we got our homie from Vernon from the E.P.I C Podcast.
Yes.
Where every player exclusive, they'll be calling. He'll be calling in tonight as well. So man, we got a lot to talk about, man. So we might as well dive on into it.
Perfect. Sounds good. Let's dive right in. Super Bowl win. Chiefs win 38-35 over the Philadelphia Eagles. First half, Philly looked like they couldn't do nothing wrong, but they didn't have it felt like they had like a 20-point lead, but they just never really did, which was crazy. Mahomes looked like he got hurt right before halftime, and it was going to be trouble for the Chiefs. They come out in the second half, John, made adjustments. Mahomes put on a perfect game. Looked like he got shot up with whatever. It did not hurt him at all. Chiefs win. Yeah, there was a holding penalty at the end. Was it a holding penalty by the rule? Yes, it was. Did it need to be called? Yes, it did. Does it suck that it had to be called in that situation in that moment in time? Yes, it did. Just sucked at that. It's kind of what you thought about, but hey, overall, man, Chiefs deserve to win that game. I just wish Jalen then would have had a little bit more time on the clock to get a good shot at, try to come back.
Oh yeah, that was incredible clock management, man. I actually hate how football teams do that, man. Because like, you know me, I'm always like score that point right there, and they pulled up and they put it in the kickers, hands, and time ran out, man. So I get it, man, but still, real good game, back and forth. You know what I'm saying? You saw the Chiefs, like you said, come back in the second half. They never were like really like out of it. And that's kind of the way they're built. They're built to, hey, it's crazy though, Brandon. They're built to have Patrick Mahomes out there, but it's crazy. Like they went I don't have the numbers in front of me right now, but like I do know the first half numbers. Philadelphia had the ball. They had the ball. They had time and clock possession. That's what. And they had Patrick Mahomes on the outside, sitting on the sideline. That's the best way. You know what I'm saying? The best formula that anybody can kind of come up with to beat the Kansas City Chiefs outside of, you know what I'm saying, putting Patrick Mahomes under an intense amount of pressure. You know what I'm saying? And where he's getting sacked, you know, for 3 or 4 times during for his life. And we've seen that kind of Super Bowl before, right?
Right.
But like, nah, man. So like, Philadelphia Eagles, man, they had time possession. They, you know, outside of the interception, or the turnover, right?
The fumble.
Yeah. Like we had a near. Yes, yeah. I correct myself. The fumble. We had a near perfect game from Jalen Hurts overall, and like I said, the fumble did. You know what I mean? It gave, of course, you know, any turnover gives the other team a little life or whatnot. But it's still like going into the half, like you said, man. Philadelphia had all the mojo. I was like, man, I changed my pick. I changed my pick before, you know what I'm saying, the day before the game. So anybody says, hey, man, but I didn't lay any big cash on it, you know what I'm saying, or whatnot. But I changed my pick. But I was thinking, as the first half was going, I was like, man, Philadelphia's about to roll Kansas City over. But they never had like total separation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They never totally broke away. Totally broke away. So Kansas City was able to get back into it, and like they ultimately win the game. Amazing justice, man. It kind of remains to be seen, like what Philadelphia looks like. The questions about whether Jalen Hurts can be, you know what I'm saying, a franchise quarterback, and those have been put to rest. I mean, without a doubt, right? But you know, there's other pieces of that team that they have to address as well. Free agents they have to address as well. But no reason, and I know they have some riots and whatnot going on in Philadelphia because of that seemingly egregious hold call that for the, you know what I'm saying, the Juju Schuster, but Fish-Houston. But like, nah, man. Philadelphia Eagles do not have anything to hold their head down for, man, because that game ultimately could have went either way. It kind of came down to possession, and whoever had the ball last was going to win, and that was unfortunately, if you're an Eagles fan, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, overall, I thought it was a pretty good game. Easily went over the over, hit the over. I actually had a correct score bet. I put in $5 to win $500 for Eagles to win 37-34, and the Chiefs won 38-35. So I was very close on the actual score, but if that would have hit that way, it would have been a nice little payday. But no, overall, you know, the Eagles come down first possession of the game, score a touchdown, and like, okay, Kansas City's in trouble. Kansas City came down, they scored as well. So shout out to the Chiefs. They've won their second Super Bowl. Patty Mahomes got his second one now. The slump, not the slump, but it was almost like, hey, Patty, you got to get your second one. They've got it now. I want to ask you this. What do you put the odds at? What percentage do you think the Chiefs can go out and repeat next year?
Well, right. So that's good. That's a good sign. Because there's some teams that probably kind of got their number or right on their heels, right? We would say that would be the Bengals and maybe potentially how quick the Jacksonville Jaguars can turn it around. They remember, you know what I'm saying, them playing how close that kind of game was between them and Kansas City Chiefs, man. So
Buffalo too.
Buffalo's got it. Buffalo too. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you got to at least give it to them until proved wrong.
Yeah, as far as the AFC is concerned, you're absolutely right. So Buffalo, but what those teams can do, and Kansas City is like we're already established. They feel like, how cocky are they, Brandon? They lost what everybody thought was the top receiver, and he goes down to Miami and he starts, you know what I'm saying, he has, you know what I'm saying, fantastic numbers. Like he's proven to them, proven to the world, the NFL world, that he can still play. And then Patrick Mahomes just goes out and just finds more guys to throw to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're not necessarily household names just yet, but he just found more guys to throw to. They rushed like a damn near yard for yard with Philadelphia. It wasn't like it was just him just throwing it everywhere in the first half. That's what kind of kept him in the game. it's kind of like a masterstroke as for Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy and their whole entire coach staff on what they came up offensively. Yes, they and they were also able to put together, some good defensive stops, man. And like I said, their offense kind of carries that team. As long as you got Patrick Mahomes out there on that field, you got a chance to win. As far as somebody kind of kicking them off the throne, as far as the AFC is concerned, like again, we named those contenders. To the who could I don't know, man. It kind of depends on if those guys can get another playmaker or two. I think about Cincinnati. Can they get their offensive line healed up? Can they get maybe potentially even another playmaker on defense? What does that look like for them? Jacksonville obviously is a young up and comer. They're going to benefit from them having a potential like another pretty good draft, you could say, and another season under that coach. So I kind of net edge. Hey, if anybody listens to my voice, thinks the coach is going to automatically jump into some type of contention. Like, no, man, this is going to be a long, thorough process, man. That's why they gave Shane Steichen 6 years, man. But I would, those teams we missed in Buffalo, Cincinnati, they got. Unfortunately, I didn't say Miami. Unfortunately, I didn't say the Baltimore Ravens. I don't think those teams are. There's too much of a talent influx and internal influx with players and management that there's too much of a distraction right now for me to put them in a Super Bowl situation.
The DraftKings odds right now for Super Bowl favorite are the Kansas City Chiefs at 6-1. Buffalo is 7-1. The 49ers are 8-1. The Eagles are 9-1. So right now the 49ers are the favorites next year. And then the Bengals and then Cowboys. So
they must know something we know. Dope.
The longest odds right now are at 200-1 are the Arizona Cardinals. And then the Houston Texans at 200-1. And the Indianapolis Colts, third to last, 150-1. So if you want to throw a little $5 on there, $5 will get you something. $5 bet will pay out $755 if you put $5 on the Colts to win the Super Bowl. So take a day off from eating a Subway, put that $5 on the Colts, see what you get out of it. I do think, John, it's interesting. I was looking the odds for the off-season specials. Aaron Rodgers. We talked last week about Aaron Rodgers going into hiding and just being that dude, and it's just not working, and you got to figure it out, Aaron. Looking at the DraftKings latest odds, because obviously Derek Carr is no longer in Las Vegas. Right now, the Raiders are the favorites at minus 330 to land Aaron Rodgers. That is the best odds for the Raiders to get Rodgers. The Packers are plus 250. They want to make that relationship. It's huge. It is. I am shocked how huge it is to the Raiders. I really am.
Well, dude, I was shocked, Brandon, that they let Derek Carr go.
See ya. Nobody wants that.
Like in a world, nobody wants what Derek Carr's contract essentially could ask him for trade back for. But when the world is like quarterback strapped, and they do anything to get quarterbacks in there. They even call them retired quarterbacks. Hey, come on up here and coach. Be our quarterback for 6 weeks. I just kind of thought it was odd that Derek Carr was getting released instead of getting traded. But I think he's on whenever NFL free agency starts, I think he'll be the first or second guy off for sure. And you say Las Vegas, yeah, I can see it. They got to make a big splash. They got to turn things around fast out there. And so they got a single fan base and they got a coach that's probably on the hot seat. So I can definitely see it.
Yeah, for sure. It's it'd be interesting to see. Looks like John, we mentioned the Colts have their coach. They've hired, and I put it out last week. Did I not? Did I not put it out last week? Shane Steichen, new head coach, Indianapolis Colts. John, offensive coordinator. I do have some comments from the press conference yesterday. I'll read those off. Emotional Shane Steichen had his opening press conference, putting pen to paper on his new deal to become the youngest head coach in the history of the Indianapolis Colts at age 37. He's a year younger than me. Here are some takeaways. Irsay and Ballard each took turns speaking, giving their thoughts on the process and the hiring of Steichen. Irsay met with Steichen in Philadelphia a week ago Friday and liked what he heard. Quote, he was so impressive, Irsay said. He was incredible in the interview, incredible leadership, toughness, very fast mind. On that day, Chris Ballard and more offensive Colts member met with Steichen in Philly. High integrity, high character, brilliant football mind, said Ballard. Philosophically, we see the game the same way, and that's critical for a head coach and a GM relationship. So I'm going to stop there. I got a little paragraph, so let's break down that.
Okay.
High integrity, high character, brilliant football mind. Philosophically, we see the game the same way, and it's critical of a head coach and GM relationship. It was a Chris Ballard hire in the end and not a Jimmy Irsay.
Okay. Just kind of going over, Shane Steichen, I really think that the whole Jeff Saturday thing was a song and dance production. Because if anybody's seen the Jeff Saturday statement video, whatever, man, it looks real Hollywood. Yeah, not necessarily Hollywood, man, but it looks real like high production.
It did.
Back, right? So again, there's no way that football is the ultimate. It'll find a liar in a pack of liars real quick. So the team was poorly constructed. Frank, they tuned out. We got to keep something to keep the fan base interested because we don't want to lose the Colts fan base because, we pumped so much money into, the Colts, the whole downtown experience, all that. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want to lose the fan base. So how do you do it? Remember, Brandon, we talked about it, man. Are we sure that Jeff Saturday is the first person he called? He was just the person who said, okay, Jim, I'll do it. Right? So, okay, Jeff Saturday's gone. We got a real football mind. And I'm not saying I was ultimately won over by the new coaches. I wasn't ultimately won over by his interview or whatever. Nor am I saying that I thought that he came off like he didn't know what he was talking about. I just know that they had to put somebody in there who went through the rigors of learning how to be a professional football coach, and that wasn't Jeff Saturday. This my guy, Steichen, he's had stops. You know what I'm saying? We often with the Chargers, with the Philadelphia Eagles. You know what I'm saying? He played the position, not necessarily professionally. Played at UNLV. You know, his best season, I think his best season is like 1,011 yards, but maybe sophomore season. But again, he's put himself in this position. You know what I'm saying, to learn football, both sides of the ball, believe it or not. More offensive side, but anything. But he put himself in a position to be a coach. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily to be a stopgap, not necessarily to be, hey, I'm here to, you know what I'm saying, to say the thing that he put himself in a position to be a coach. And from what it sounds like, Brandon, he knows how to coach offense, definitely, and he knows how to coach quarterback, different styles of quarterbacks, as he had been a quarterback coach or an OC with the Chargers under when Philip Rivers was there, and he kind of helped. He kind of been in the process of the turnaround with determining the life after Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts, all the question marks that they had when they turned the reins over to Jalen Hurts. So he's been a part of that too.
Yep.
So it's kind of now on the coach, Brandon, to get it right. You have a coach, that has pedigree. Stop peeling the Band-Aid off and doing this. Oh, let's just go get Brett Favre. I'm sorry. Please don't get Brett Favre. Let's go get, whatever quarterback that Green Bay is tired of dealing with or San Francisco, whoever's tired of dealing with, and bring them into our. No. Now you have to figure out who you think who can play in this what young quarterback, whether it's whomever, and can he play for this new coach and play for the coach?
Okay. All right. That was long-winded for just the first paragraph that I wanted from you, but I'm glad you got it out there.
A paragraph A paragraph is 4 sentences, brother.
That was more than 4 sentences. Shane Steichen got pretty emotional, thanking many people put him in the opportunity for his head coaching position. He laid out 4 pillars to his head coaching plan, John. Character, preparation, consistency, and relentlessness. It was the preparation, Monday through Saturday work pillar that Steichen said is a separator between teams in this league. He said that the staff will be very detailed and aggressive with their approach, but he will go with his gut feeling a lot as the play caller and win with in-game decisions. Steichen did emphasize he will call offensive plays. This will obviously be a question for him in juggling those responsibilities and everything else that comes with the head coaching. It was a challenge for Frank Reich as well. Steichen said the Colts offense will vary week to week and dedicated on who is playing quarterback with a focus on catering to the quarterback personnel strengths. He added that this is about offensive philosophy. We will throw to score points and run to win. This is a very modern approach to the NFL today. Steichen added it's important to see what a young quarterback does well in college and make sure you adapt those things offensively to its strengths. I will say, John, I did appreciate and I did like the fact of the pillars that he gave, and we will throw to score points and run to win the ball game. And that, I feel like, was what was missing from the Colts previously.
Good. Well, listen, all right, who's going to be the quarterback? Who's going to be the quarterback? That's what you got to deal with. Who's going to be the quarterback? You have all the pillars you want.
Right. And coming to that, it's funny. Jimmy Irsay. What and the question was to Steichen was, what are the quarterback traits he desires? Accuracy, decision making, the ability to create are the 3 things I look for in a quarterback. I think those are very important. Obviously, above the neck, you have to be obsessed with your craft. If you can find that in a quarterback, you're probably going to have some success. Steichen's quarterback background clearly is one with history in a various of different styles. A funny smokescreen moment came in that press conference, John, with Ballard joking and offering a wink about the Colts might trade back the draft. Irsay then interjected and said, Alabama guy doesn't look too bad, I tell you. The owner couldn't help himself. Legit thought from the Colts owner was a smokescreen. Welcome to the draft. It'll be interesting to see what happens, but I thought he killed the press conference, but killing the press conference doesn't always mean W's on the field. I think they've got a good player in there, they got a good coach in there. We'll see what he does. It can't be any worse than what Saturday did, correct?
No, it can't be any worse. And you'll have some new personnel on the team, and some veterans aren't necessarily, because I think he actually hasn't had conversations with everybody, all the players. There's going to be some of that. There's going to be some guys that, all right, man, I'm out of here because this is not going to work for me. His style, his philosophy is not necessarily going to work for me. I don't know who that is per se, but you can kind of plan for that. But yeah, here we are, the way we go. Like I said, the coach need to figure out. If you said Chris Ballard said this thing about trading back, again, I've kind of said this. You can get some of those guys that it's kind of weird, Brandon. The owner said the guy from Alabama. That means you would have to move up and obviously deal a deal with the Chicago Bears. But like on some of their social media, they shared like pictures of Will Levis and the Richardson kid from Florida, and I think somebody else. I can't remember who else at the top of mind, but like I don't know, man. Like this play. Hey, anybody who want to play poker, play with Jim Irsay because he's gonna tell you what he's got, or he's gonna tell you what is on his mind, right? So, but I get it, man. Everybody knows the coach need a quarterback. They just can't necessarily settle for the guy that they don't want. Go for the guy that you want. So those things that Shane Steichen said, accuracy and somebody who's crazy about being a football player and quarterback, that doesn't necessarily exist in C.J. Stroud. Don't draft C.J. Stroud. Or don't try to make a move to get C.J. Stroud just because you think you need a quarterback. If that doesn't exist in Bryce Young, along with the other physical attributes that you don't think a quarterback might need to like last in the league, don't draft Bryce. I know that sounds crazy. Don't just draft a quarterback. Remember, probably 2 more drafts after. I know people don't want to hear this. Let's probably a guy that can play in the NFL in the later rounds. I'm not saying Will Levis can't. I'm just saying from pick 4, I'm not picking on Will Levis. Or, you know what I'm saying?
You are.
Some of these guys might not necessarily be picked. They might not necessarily be picked for talent. You might be able to get that same talent in a later round. So, but we all know they're going to go for a quarterback. So what that looks like, that'll be heavy speculation from here on out between us and everybody else's show. Like what happens between now? Do the Colts sit at 4 or do they try to move up to 1?
Okay. Let's go over to the NBA, the National Basketball Association. John, Pacers update. I was at the game the other night against the Jazz. I got to see the Pacers-Jazz game up close. Shout out to my boy JD, who was able to give us tickets for that. John, the Pacers have lost 16 of their last 18 games. They play the Bulls tonight here at 7 o'clock in the next 5 minutes. But lost 16 of 18, man. You're getting yourself set up for the Victor Wembanyama sweepstakes. And Scoot Henderson.
Well, did they really do that, man? Because the trade deadline didn't suggest that they were just kind of just pushing all their chips in to tanking.
I mean,
right?
The record reflects.
The record reflects. The trade doesn't, right? They brought in a veteran. And Sergei Ibaka has been released. I think he did get released.
Yes.
They still brought in a veteran. They brought in George Hill. And you actually used George Hill. George Hill played like 10 minutes the other day. When Chris Duarte got a coach's, saying he didn't play because the coach's decision. Kind of kooky.
And Matherin's kind of went to a slump
last year. Yeah, Matherin's kind of been to a slump. You can say maybe defense. I mean, he got a monster block, but the other night, but like sometimes he's having a hard time keeping his man in front of him. I don't know. It's kind of kooky, Brandon. Like I thought the trade wasn't necessarily. It didn't necessarily send off a whole. You know what I'm saying? They didn't trade Miles Turner. They didn't reset the whole clock. So they need a win. They tease the fan base that they could can be a 35-win team. They need to finish strong, man. Their team is still good enough. You didn't trade away. Like I said, you kept McConnell, a guy who I know that people would have had interest in. Playoff team. So again, man, they got to get it together. And at some point, I get it. Even guys are hurt or whatever. You got to defensively. You got to come with stops, dude. I don't understand. Miles Turner is. I get it, man. He's an anchor or whatever, shot blocker. But when he's not there, you got to come up with a better defensive scheme, man. And it's not happening. But they do have the all-star in Halliburton. And he has, a full metal clip to go off. But like you're right, man, Matherin's in somewhat of a slump, and some of the other parts aren't necessarily playing up like how they played in the beginning part of the season.
Gotcha. Okay. Let me see if I can get this prepared, because this may. So All-Star weekends this weekend, John. We've got Buddy Hield, Tyrese Halliburton, Ben Mathurin, Andrew Nembhard. All 4 of them are going to be at the All-Star festivities. Mathurin and Nembhard are playing in the Rookie Rise game, or whatever the hell it's called now. Buddy Hield and Tyrese Halliburton are both in the 3-point contest, which is great. Which I'm putting that graphic up right now. So, that's a skills challenge. Sorry. 3-point contest. You got Jason Tatum, Kevin Huerter, Tyler Hero, Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, Damian Lillard, Anthony Simons, and Lauri Markkanen. I'm going to go ahead and give you my pick for this. I honestly think it's going to be either Dame time, Lillard, or probably Markkanen. He hit every freaking shot the other night. Hield's won it before. I'd love to see Buddy. I just don't think it's going to be here. He had a horrible shooting performance the other night. So I'm going to take Dame time or Markkanen. Dame, can get into that rhythm. Let me tell you something, John. I used to love NBA All-Star Weekend. I used to love it. It was so great back in the day when you had your Friday night rookie game, you had your Saturday night contest, slam dunk, 3-point shootout, yada, yada, skills challenge, whatever. And then Sunday you had East versus West. And then they've kind of gone through and they've adapted and they've changed. And I know I'm feeling like an old man now because I pissed off at the change they've done with the All-Star Saturday night stuff and Sunday. going away that they've done from the East and West. I'm fine with the Elam ending. Okay, I'm fine with that. You had to do something, get the players more active and competitive with it. I love that they haven't changed the 3-point too much besides the racks. Now they've got a whole rack of money balls, which, if you're going for the complete record, I'd like to see them go after that record of whoever had it. Was it, I don't know if it was Glenn Rice or whoever had it way back in the day, Mark Price or somebody like that. My problem, John, is with the dunk contest. This may be the first year that I don't even watch the dunk contest, John. It is the dunk contest has been a travesty, and it's had its glitz and glamour maybe once out every 3 or 4 years. There's something good, but let's be honest. This is my rant. Let's be honest. The dunk contest has been a train wreck the last, could be close to the last decade. It's just sucked. Between the people that we have in it and the type of dunks we have, and then the type of dunks we do have, the judges don't know what the hell they're actually rating. A dunk that should be a 10, they're giving a 6 or a 5, or a dunk that sucks, they're giving it a 9 or a 10. Makes zero sense, no integrity to it. And the fact that this weekend's dunk contest is the biggest travesty in the history of the NBA, I'm not going to watch it. Who the F, and TVMA for this part of the show, who the F wants to sit here and watch Trey Murphy III, Jericho Sims, Matt McClung, who? The white boy from Texas Tech, and Kenyon Martin Jr. Who the F wants to watch these 4 guys compete in an effing dunk contest? I think it's a travesty. I think it's idiotic. I think it's the dumbest move that the NBA has ever done in the history of this All-Star thing. And you know what they're doing? They're just driving that last stake down into the heart of the NBA All-Star Saturday Night Dunk Contest. It sucks. It's dead. It's over. Let's move on with it. Until you get the prime players that everybody wants to see. Because you know what? If this son of a bitch is here in Indianapolis next year, you think my happy ass is going to go down there to watch Jericho Sims, Matt McClung, Trey Murphy III? Hell no. Give me some of these ballers. Give me some of these vicious dunkers we see. We just saw a hell of a dunk last night from Shane Sharp. Put these kids in it. They want that experience, not these no-namers. Matt McClung, he just got signed back to the league last week. He's been in the D-League. He's obviously sucked. He can't play in the league. Why the hell would we bring him to an all-star dunk contest? What, because he's short and he's white? Oh, okay, let's try that. I hate it. I'm not even going to watch that part of it this weekend. The All-Star Saturday night will be over for me when the 3-point contest is done.
Brent Berry says white men can dunk. Brandon, you know this, right? You forget about he won the dunk contest, but again, that was a long time ago.
If most players don't want to compete, Justin Fox, you're right. Most players don't want to compete in it. Well, let's raise that value up. Let's put that millie on the line. You can't tell me the NBA don't have a millie just lying around that they can say, "Hey, let's do it."
I remember a couple 3 weeks of John Morant catching bodies.
Right?
Strictly a Pacers. Jalen Smith, man, he caught him, man, and he doesn't want to be in the dunk contest. Hold on, excuse me. Somebody like Zion Williamson. I know he's,
he's the new street clothes.
So he ain't gonna. He's not gonna play regular basketball. How can he be in a dunk contest? But again, there's other guys, with a little bit more name than Kenyon Martin Jr. Brandon. Hey, Brandon, that dude can dunk.
Well, let me tell you this. I'm waiting on DraftKings for the odds to come out, and I'm gonna put money on Kenyon Martin Jr. because I've seen him, and he's the only one that I feel like of the 4 that can win this damn thing. Watch it be Trey Murphy, but when they come out, I'm going to put it on. Right now, all they have up is the skill challenge winning. They don't have the 3-point or the dunk contest up on odds. But, Martin, okay. But come on now. People are just going to know him. Granted, the common fan is just going to know him from his dad. The common fan.
Right, from his last name, yeah. Not necessarily from his basketball game, for sure.
Right, Justin Fox, there is a difference between in-game dunkers and dunk contest guys, but it ain't that big of a difference. I mean, these guys do it in warm-ups all the time. They all do it in warm-ups. I sat there at the Laker game last year and watched LeBron and throw him off the backboard. Like they do this stuff with ease.
Let Bronny get in it. He'll do it.
Oh, do I need to start the campaign for Bronny to be do this dunk contest next year? Or 2 years, whatever the hell it is. It is in Indy next year. You know what? I don't know, John. What's your thoughts on the dunk contest, man? Like I said, it's been dead the last, 10 years? And now you get no names?
You talk. Hold on, man. You talking to somebody who still got a problem with the All-Star game. So I can't even. You talking? I'll leap over the dunk contest. So the All-Star game is it competitive?
Well, it is.
Yeah,
it is now. I feel like.
Hey, man, it looks a lot from the All-Star game that I grew up on.
All right.
The Rock and Jock MTV. They put together. They put the Rock and Jock MTV with the All-Star game.
Right.
And like now, the East ain't in the East, the West ain't in the West.
No,
like,
that's the part I hate.
Somewhat of like,
give me the East, give me the West, give me the old retro uniforms, red and blue. Don't give me this Team Giannis, Team LeBron shit. Like it's always gonna be Team LeBron for how many years till he plays. Let's move on from that.
Right. Right. Y'all game is not the AFC. Y'all game is not the Pro Bowl. The Pro Bowl they have to play with powder puffs and flags, man. I'm not saying no. I don't want no monster block or nobody to get hurt or losing knee, whatever, man, during the All-Star game. But the All-Star game cannot be. Dude, the All-Star game is gonna be a 300. Combined game. Easy, 375 points combined, no problem. Because they not playing no daggone, or any type of competitive anything. But like, no, they have to fix that first before you fix that, and then everything else kind of will fix itself. The 3-point contest, like everybody likes the great shooters, man, and everybody wants to be considered a great shooter. If you're a real basketball player, get out there, and you don't want to get embarrassed, man. But like, nah, man, if they fix the All-Star game, I mean, but like, can you put the genie back in the bottle? I don't know. But like the dunk contest is like maybe they should start the dunk contest first, Brandon, and instead of like having it as like the prime time, they start the dunk contest first.
They should. I'm not going to sit there and watch Matt McClung try to dunk 15 times to get his second dunk in. I ain't going to do it. I will bury the hell out of this NBA All-Star Weekend if that's the case. I'll bury it just like John. I buried it every year back in the day with the Pro Bowl with you. Every year. Now, I will tell you this. We didn't talk about it on our show. Shame on us. I did watch a quarter and a half of the flag football game on that Sunday. Just to check it out. Get a load of Peyton Manning out there coaching and all that stuff. I did check that out. But back to the NBA All-Star game. The things I would change. Obviously, the dunk contest, your participants. Also change what you get out of it. Maybe a cool millie. Shit, they don't want to play for a millie? Make it 2. NBA's got the money. Use the money from the technicals and the fines and the ejections or whatever, suspensions. Use that money for this. I know you try to give it to charity and whatnot, but they can figure out a way to spice up the dunk contest to get people who actually want to be in this thing. Shit. I'd probably, shame on me, I'd probably even pay to see a 275-pound Fred Jones go back in it and try to dunk.
Not Fred Jones.
Sorry, Fred Jones. That was a ricochet shot on Fred. I'm sorry, Fred. But, shit, I'd pay to see Justin Fox in there try to get up. Get up there, Justin. I'd rather see that than Matt McClung. Come on now. And Jericho Sims, how many of the common fan knows where he plays? I know me and you instantly knew where he played in New York, but how many of the common fan? They must be deciding, you know what? Hey, end of a Saturday night, how many people we got watching this damn thing? I'm just glad it's not in Indianapolis, and that's our dunk participants. That's all I'm saying. What about these G League, NBA Elites, or Ignite, or whatever? What about these kids? These kids want the spotlight. They want the Instagram followers. They want the DMs. They want the money. Why not put them in this? At least make it a Rising Stars dunk contest. If the vets don't want to do it, then put a Rising Star in there. Right? And then give me back. What? Go ahead.
You talking about giving you back the old timers game? Please don't say that.
No, give me back the East versus West. I'm just going to give it to that. Give me back the East as West. Give me the uniforms back to traditional East-West. 3-point contest I love, but, I mean, if we're going to change everything else, can we go back to the regular rack of balls? I want to see how close we can get to that 30, because 30 was always the max score, right, John? It was always that score. How close can you get to that 30? All those years we thought Reggie Miller was going to be his year, and he get knocked out. Right? I've seen it. We've had Harold Miner. We've had Mark Price go in there. We've seen everybody, right? Tim Legler. We've seen, like, maybe it's just because we're old and we just loved it and it looked so much better back in the day that now there's just no motivation, right? It's just, I don't know. I've been burying the NBA All-Star, and I feel like I'm going to be destroying it on Twitter here in the next this weekend.
Well, you got to understand, Brandon. We still got to get media credentials for the NBA All-Star.
I know, we do.
So don't bury it. So don't totally bury it, man. We better I know we're up against it, man. We better take a little break unless our guest is on and ready to come in.
Nah, he's not here yet. We'll go ahead and take a couple ad reads break. We come back until we get Vernon on. We will we'll chat it up with more. So we'll be right back.
You changed thousands of diapers, cut off hundreds of crusts, played hours of peekaboo and duck goose because you'd do anything for your kids. That's why it's so important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. State Farm insurance agent Scott K. Nichols will help make it easy and affordable to help protect your family no matter what the future holds. Because for the people you do anything for, life insurance could mean everything. Call State Farm agent Scott K. Nichols in Indianapolis today at 317-243-3509. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Crossroads Sports would like to thank Wiseman Logistics. Their team is dedicated to the successful delivery of your packages. Services, domestic or commercial, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Call 877-744-6212 to set up your delivery. Thanks, Wiseman.
We also want to thank our sponsors, Maverick Custom Motorsports, where ideas are created, dreams are born, specialize in custom motorcycles, boats, slingshots, Jeeps, and trucks, offering pickups, deliveries, and shipping worldwide. Check them out today, MavericksCustomMotorsports.com. Like I said, they ship worldwide. Go on there, order yourself something. On checkout, there's a little spot for a discount code. Put Crossroads, get a nice % discount off on it. But they'll take care of you. Let them know Crossroads Sports sent you. Check them out, MavericksCustomMotorsports.com.
This is Coach Chris Artis, and you're listening to the Crossroads Sports Radio.
All right, and we are back. John, last thing I have before we bring Vernon on, we make fun of Anthony Davis all the time, calling him street clothes, just like Charles Barkley and them do. But, I mean, Zion himself had another setback, and he's out several more weeks. Who's made more of glass, real quick? Yeah. Zion or AD?
Man, Zion Williams. I mean, no, AD's got the more body work and like the highest level of disappoint. So we're gonna still keep the street clothes moniker with Anthony Davis, man. But Zion Williams is still, it's still disappointing because everybody sees the talent and the kind of impact that he could bring, and that team really needs him. They are right there. So yeah, man, Anthony Davis still street clothes.
Okay. All right, perfect. All right, John, you want to give the next intro?
Yeah, man. Hey, Vernon, welcome to the Crossroads Sports Show, man. Vernon Estrich runs. I call him the moderator. Would that be a fair assessment of like what you do over? He has his own personal taste, but Vernon, would that be a fair assessment like what you do for over at the E.P.I C Podcast?
Yeah, very close. I try anyway. A lot of times.
Man, because if anybody hasn't, like I said, we had Justin Fox on a couple weeks ago, and Justin comes with his pretty, he ain't budging on most of his takes, man. And like I watched their show, Brandon, and like it's usually Vernon throws out the topic, and then everybody it don't get too catty, but sometimes I'm like, man, are these guys friends? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
After check and make sure that everybody, on here is, they're all family, man. But like, no, man, Bird, welcome to the show, man. sometimes I kind of thought about like, man, sometimes we need a moderator between me and Brandon sometimes, because Brandon told me I was long-winded. Before you kind of came on. I was like, wait a minute, man, we might need somebody, like, no. Welcome to the show. Can you tell us, man? Because like Justin kind of told us a little bit about E.P.I C and how some of it's a little different from what me and Brandon do here on the Crossroads Sports, man. But kind of just tell us, in your own words, like what your involvement with E.P.I C and like what y'all do.
Yeah, so E.P.I C kind of came together truly on the fly. Me and another one of my co-hosts, Ike, we did the E.P.I C Podcast last year, and we did. We were doing it, and it was everything was fine, but I just felt like it was time for a rebrand, and I wanted to do something different. And with our schedule, sometimes it can be tough when it's just two people. Y'all probably know that, like just trying to stay on the same page, and somebody got something going on, whatever. So, I was like, well, I want to go a different direction. I want to make it more of a round table discussion, and I kind of stumbled across Mr. Fox, and me and him, we met, and like we kind of hit it off, and we just found out that we have some of the same views and things of that nature. Met Jared through his brother, actually, and me and his brother are very good friends. So met him through there. Okay. And me and Ike been friends for a long time. So then what had happened was I was like, all right, Ike, we're gonna start this thing back up. I changed the name, we kind of start putting ideas together. And out the blue, Justin hit me up, was like, man, I've been thinking about doing a podcast. I'm like, bruh, I'm about to start one in 2 weeks. You want to be a part of it? He was like, yeah. And literally like 3 days before the podcast took first aired, Jared hit me up and was saying the same thing. And I was like, bro, we start in 3 days. You want in? He was like, yeah. So I hurried up and revamped everything. We had a couple meetings, brought it together, got on the same page, and like literally our first episode together was a lot of those guys meeting each other for the first time. But I wanted it to be organic on the mic and on the show. Like I wanted people to see us grow together. Right. We are friends now. I know a lot of times it does get catty and it's fun, but yeah, that's kind of how everything came together.
Yeah, man. Hey, last show, John, I was listening to, man, they were trying to bury Vernon. I felt bad for him. I was trying to be on his side. I know Justin's listening right now, but man, they're just trying to bury my man. I said, come on now. Give him some rub. Well, they said give his prediction. He said I don't give a damn about this prediction.
Right. Well, see, I'm the common denominator, so it's easy for them to come at me because they all like know me personally. So I take it though. I take it.
Well, that kind of leads me into my next little question, man. So your Super Bowl pick versus your prediction. How did that work out for you this year?
So that's one of the first things we kind of talked about on E.P.I C. We kind of wanted to throw our Super Bowl picks out there early, get that out there. So we both did AFCs and NFC picks. So I picked the Cowboys and the Chiefs originally to go to the Super Bowl. So on the NFC and AFC side.
Okay.
Go ahead.
But hold on, man. But you said the Chiefs. No, you didn't say the Chiefs. You said Philadelphia Eagles were soft. Or no, I don't know. You said it for that. No, I don't want to misquote you. I'm sorry. I don't want you.
You gotta quote me exactly. I said we were talking about their defense.
Okay, I thought you meant the whole team.
No. We were talking about their defense because Justin was standing super firm on what their defense was going to do, comparing them to the Titans' defense.
Well,
and I had to let them know.
Yeah. Okay, let them know. But so what you think about the? I mean, so you picked Dallas. We'll get to that in a second, man. Because you shame on you forever. This is not 19. I don't know how old you are. I don't know how old you are, but like the Dallas Cowboys,
I'm old enough. Yeah.
They got a curse on them, man. They're not winning nothing, man. I mean, that Prescott.
I'm not a fan. Okay, hold on. Let me clear it up. I'm not a fan of Dallas. I just picked them this year.
How could you make that professionally? You picked that pick?
One, because they won. One, before the injuries, they were playing very well on offense, and they had the top pass defense in the league.
Yeah, this is true. Hey, man, you know what? It's funny. Like I get it. They lost their last game, the last two games. They looked real bad or whatever, and they were talking about like Dak Prescott out of town. Like, dude, they're still 13-4. So like you can't just get rid of winning. All of stuff. But I do, and like I can see them. I don't know, man. Super Bowl pick. I couldn't. I can see them win. They should have just cased that. I think me and Brandon actually had them winning that division. Like everybody, and then who saw what the Giants was going to do? You know what I mean? But
right.
But
like, you also got to understand, we made these predictions early in the season.
Okay, that's fair. So you went with the Chiefs, man. So what did you think of the Super Bowl in its entirety?
Oh man, in its entirety, I thought it was a really good game. So on Epic, we were talking about our predictions last week, and I either said it was going to be a close, low-scoring game, or it was going to be a close, high-scoring game, and it ended up being a close, high-scoring game. Right. Only because I knew the offenses was very well, and it was about who defense was going to make the plays. Okay. And I think that kind of tailored to what Ike and Justin was saying about the Eagles, but they haven't been tested though. So y'all riding on a defense that ain't been tested really. You made that point. I remember you saying that because the what'd you say? And Andy Reid and them, they kind of been here before. I think somebody else said that. They had been there before. So like them being down. What was they down, Brandon? They was down less than 2 scores at halftime.
Yeah,
they were down 10 in the fourth. They were down 10 in the fourth.
That's like manageable for a team like Kansas City. Absolutely. Brandon?
Yeah. I didn't think it was. Look, when I saw 10, my pick was the Eagles. I had the Eagles and minus the 1. I feel pretty good about it, but especially when you see Patty Mahomes getting hurt, right? The dude's limping off the sideline. You're like, oh, it's a wrap. You get a 30-minute Rihanna break and whatever they shot at his ankle. And, I mean, looking back now, I rewatched part of the game.
I'm not even going to hold you.
It just looks like, you could see it coming, I feel like.
I look at it like this. Once the momentum shifted when Hurts fumbled.
Yes.
When he fumbled the ball, when they could have went up 21-7, and it ended up being 14-14, I was like, oh, okay, we good. But then, like you said, when Patrick Mahomes got hurt, you kind of like the air in the stadium, you could just tell it was like, oh, shoot, this is about to be another San Francisco game. That's just how you felt.
Well, I didn't feel good about the doink either, about the missed field goal. I didn't feel good necessarily good about that either.
That too. Because if you'd hit that, then they really had the momentum. But you you said, the doink. But when the doink happened, I told everybody, I was actually at Jared's house. I told them, I was like, watch, whenever a field goal kicker misses a field goal in an important game, the game always comes back to him. The game always comes back to that kicker having to make a kick.
And it did.
And that's what happened.
Yeah. Crazy, man. Well, hey, man. I know we only got Vern for so long. Vern, what has because guess what? Everybody, the Epic Podcast starts at 8:00 as Crossroads Sports kind of goes off, man. But Vern, let me ask you this, man. Before we get you get off, and also before you get off, man, give us a little preview of what I kind of talked about, like as I can guess, probably something Super Bowl related, right? But like, no, man. What kind of some of your thoughts about winding down as we're mid-season NBA All-Star break? You know what I'm saying? What kind of caught your eye, whether it's Pacers locally or anybody from abroad? What kind of caught your eye and ears as the NBA season we're at the midpoint right now?
I am a local Pacer fan, so I'll put that out there.
Okay.
Just so everybody knows. I am excited moving forward. Especially with the NBA All-Star Weekend. I want to see what we're doing a 3-point shootout. We got two people in there. Really good shooter. Okay. So I think that gains notoriety because being a small market team, I think we need that. for as far as the Pacers, and that's really who I follow. I follow the Pacers in Miami. That's my other team. And I'm a fan of LeBron.
Whoa.
So I'll put that all out there. What?
Miami too?
Yeah, man. I've been a Miami fan a long time.
I would give you the West Coast team, but not an East Coast team with the Pacers.
Yeah, I know. They both in the East. It's tough, but like I was a huge Tim Hardaway fan.
Okay. And you said Team LeBron as well?
Yeah.
Your Team LeBron?
Yes, I am Team LeBron.
Look, let me ask you a question real quick, because I'm Team
sir.
LeBron, and I'll defend until the day I die. But for a lot of things, man, the way KD has switched team after team after team, why is he getting a pass and LeBron always gets crucified for everything?
My thing is this, because LeBron, and this is what I tell people, I say LeBron changed free agency. He made it okay for other stars to move around. He took that first punch. When he went to Miami, he took all that hate. They hated him the whole time he was there. He took all of that so people like KD can move around whenever he wants and not get the scrutiny. So the Kyries can move around whenever they want without the scrutiny. The James Hardens can move around without the scrutiny. All these top players can move around now without worried about being scrutinized because LeBron already did it.
They're not on LeBron level. Everybody you just named, including Kevin. Including Kevin Durant.
No, I agree. Like I'm not putting them I'm not saying they're equals, but in when we're looking at superstars moving and changing teams.
Well, here's a little hot take, because we coming to your show at some point. Rob, like Kyrie Irving is Rob Strickland. That's who he is. He's nothing greater in this era.
John, come on.
He's Kyrie Irving. In this era, he's Kyrie Irving. In my era, he's Rob Strickland.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Okay, hold on. I'm only gonna let that slide because I think him and Rod Strickland have a relationship.
They do.
So
that's what
I think they know each other. No. I think it's like they have some type of relationship. Like they grew up knowing it's something. So I don't know what that is, so I'm not gonna speak too much on it. But he has the handles of a Rod Strickland. He does play a lot like Rod Strickland. The only thing is, I feel like Kyrie is more clutch than
Rod Strickland didn't have 25 in a game last night or the other night in the fourth quarter.
Kyrie can be the X factor on any given night.
Oh my goodness, you can't be a Kyrie apologist. No,
listen. I'm not an apologist, but off the court is off the court. Well, we Crossroads. Yeah, Crossroads. We talking about on the court. We on the court.
With him, it's in the court. With him,
right. So on the court.
With him, it's all, man.
It's because he's taking it to
the court. On the court, can't nobody hold him.
He ran away from greatness. How many times?
But that's because that's immaturity.
He ran away.
I agree. I agree, and that's something that he.
Organization, man.
I agree. That's still something that he regrets to this day, and he's still apologizing for it, and he's still trying to get back to LeBron to this day.
He is. He was Luka Doncic and a crazy billionaire who probably think the world is flat too. You know what I'm saying?
But hey, one thing. Okay, wait a minute. One thing I will say about Mark Cuban though. He gonna pay that money, and he gonna do what he gotta do to get the win.
He might give him 3 years. He might give.
He has no problem. He has no problem doing what needs to be done, and I gotta respect the owner like that. And he's a player's owner. He's not. He don't just run with the front office. He's about bringing players in, and he's an activist. He speaks out. I can't really say too much bad about Mark Cuban.
Right.
This is true.
But Kyrie, I mess with Kyrie.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Oh man.
Vernon, let me ask you something.
I think he'll be back. I think he'll be back. I think he'll be in LA next year. If they don't find some crazy deal.
Is Mark Cuban buying the Lakers? Mark Cuban ain't buying the Lakers.
My thing is this. The only reason why I say maybe is because of this. In order to do that trade and give up those picks, you had to have you had to have some plans to sign him long term, because that's the whole problem in Brooklyn. They didn't want to sign him long term.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Kyrie's looking for one more bag.
They offered him money. Yeah, they did. But
it wasn't a max.
No, it wasn't the max, and then it was something kooky like you had to win a championship in order to get your full money.
Yeah, like who signed him? Nobody signed in that.
Yeah, that was real weird.
With the way with the way the Brooklyn Nets been up and down, like I'm not signing it. I wouldn't sign it either. But nonetheless, I just think that either he's gonna sign him, so we'll probably hear something in the off season, depending on how their postseason go, if they make it to the postseason, how their postseason goes. I think that'll hinge a lot on if he stays or goes. If not, he'll be back with LeBron. I think that's what everybody wanted to happen. Brooklyn was just being stubborn. And they wanted too much for a headache that they didn't even want themselves.
Right. Absolutely. Even though they probably sent another headache back. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, right. So to get back to what we're really talking about before we kind of veered off, yes, I'm a Miami fan. Yes, I'm a Pacers fan. It's okay. My only thing with the Pacers and looking to the future, I just think maybe we need to do one more coaching change. I think we have the pieces.
Oh my goodness.
Just hear me out. Hear me out. Like, I just don't think Rick Carlisle is keeping up with the younger coaches in the league. And you look what these other teams that are young are doing. Everybody's running, dunking, and shooting. Like, that's what it is. And I think we got the team to do it. I think we got the young core to do it. I just think we need somebody to have that vision to push these young guys in the right direction. And that's just me. And I just don't think Rick Carlisle is that. I think he's one of them old school coaches. And we're just not that team.
Okay. Let me ask you this, Vern. Because I just crucified the entire NBA All-Star weekend right before you came on in like a 10-minute rant. So let me ask you this. Oh, yeah. It was a big one. How excited are you to see this dunk contest with Trey Murphy III, Jericho Sims, Matt McClung, and Kenyon Martin Jr.?
Matt McClung.
I'm not.
Billy Holt.
They even went as far as to trying to hype it up around Karl Malone being a judge. Like, and I'm just like at this point, like, the dunk contest is just not what it used to be. They need to get some of these street ballers, some of these YouTube dunkers, and I think they need to make it a competition. Maybe the NBA versus the street. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I said. I said put the G League in there. The G League Ignite.
I think it needs to be something like you need to push these NBA dunkers, quote unquote. You need to push some of these guys, because if they're going against, the competition, and I won't even say it's competition. I mean, Kenyon Martin Jr. I mean, like these, nobody knows these guys. I mean, people know Kenyon Martin Jr. because of that, but the rest of the guys, nobody knows these guys. So, like, if there was a Ja Morant, you'd be wanting to watch. Like, why are we not bringing some of the biggest dunkers in here? Like, what's the problem?
LaMelo must can't dunk.
Yeah.
LaMelo's not a dunker, man. Come on, man.
Well,
I'm just saying, his mouth, and you bring him and his dad, man, that's crazy.
You want to jump over his dad?
I'll say put somebody like him as a judge. You need some personalities as judges,
it's
too.
Just
like,
you get dumbass judges.
Some of the legends in.
Yeah, you get dumbass judges who bet a 10 dunk and they put a 5, or a shitty dunk and they give it a 9. It's it makes no sense.
Man, absolutely. It's horrible. Like, I get having Dr. J and, Dominique Wilkins, you know what I mean? Like, guys who know dunk. You know what I mean? Like, who brought creativity to the dunk game. But, like, Karl Malone? Like, come on, man. Like,
that's immediate.
John, I'll give you your judges. Give me 1 second here. I've got it right here. Your judges, big dunker, Jamal Crawford. Come on now.
Come on.
Lisa Leslie.
Finesse court.
Karl Malone.
First woman to dunk in the WNBA game. I need that. Karl Malone, though.
Harold Miner.
Nobody else.
And Dominique.
Harold Miner?
Those are the judges?
Yep.
Come on, man. They couldn't find nobody else. Nobody else want to get that 100. How much is the check to be a judge? Probably what, 200?
Man, heck no, to be a judge.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to watch Matt McClung try 15 dunks for his second attempt. I'm not going to.
The judge check better be $200, man. You got to give me $200,000 at least a hotel to come judge.
I will check. Look, I'll check the highlights later on to see if somebody did something crazy.
Oh, man.
See, John, I told you.
I'm not watching.
Told you. I'm
not
either.
watching.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they better put some good ones in here next year.
I watched the 3-point shootout. They got, everybody's in that.
We said put that on last. Put that on last if you want to keep your audience.
I watched the field challenge.
That's right. Yeah. Turn the dunk contest first. Hey, man, Brandon, we can't keep Vernon. He got to get his show together, man.
Y'all keep smiling, man. I am enjoying myself.
See, we're not attacking him as much, so he loves us.
man, y'all make me feel a lot more comfortable than my guys do sometimes. Nah, I love my guys, man. And I can't wait to have y'all on, man. I can't wait to mix it up and have y'all on.
Absolutely. Hey, man, Vern, give us the outtake, man. You know what I'm saying? So people can go check out your show at 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, y'all. We are on YouTube. It's E.P.I C Podcast. It's at E.P.I C Podcast on YouTube, man. We are there every Wednesday from 8 to 9:30-ish. You can also check us out on Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, all live. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Vern. Have a good show tonight. We'll tune in.
Which time?
Yes, sir. Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's Vernon from the E.P.I C Podcast. John.
Dude, we lost track of time.
I'm getting everybody with me, man. I'm getting everybody with me on this hate the NBA All-Star weekend.
Stop it.
Matt McClung.
They just need to put a little juice.
How many dunks does this guy have? Does he have any dunks? Has he dunked in an NBA game?
Man, he had a good move on Giannis a couple weeks ago, man.
So they put
put a finger wrong.
All right. So they've put the top 10 dunks on for him. Okay. And there's a YouTube video of it. The problem is all those dunks are in high school. And that one he got thrown to. Okay, so his top 5, he was throwing the ball up off an alley-oop. So no creativity. So they're just going to use oh, my God, it's a white boy dunking. We got to feel the love for the white boy dunking. Come on, man.
Stop it, man. If he wins, then what?
He ain't going to win. He ain't going to win. You know who else, if we talk to, would say it's probably a travesty about the dunk contest players? Is this guy right here.
This is Coach Chris Artis, and you're listening to the Crossroads Sports Radio.
See, he would say a travesty himself if he was here. John, let's dive into college basketball real quick. Purdue, Indiana. Hoosiers got a big win up against Michigan. Boilermakers took a loss on Sunday against Northwestern. The freshman guards for Purdue are starting to play like freshmen. Hopefully that can change here soon. You're getting your bad games out of the way now. Hoosiers have a tough one tonight. The battle for second place in the Big Ten between IU and Northwestern.
Yeah, man, and remember, man, and some of those little heels are kind of creeping up back on Purdue, man. They spotted the Big Ten a big lead, but like now, man, if they lose the critical game, man, Saturday game becomes even more critical, right? So don't look ahead. Take care of business tonight. Thinking about that Northwestern game, man. What the hell was the Duke? What was the Duke coach doing, man?
Come on, man. He's cheating. He's cheating. Somebody said he didn't touch him. Was messaging me. He didn't touch him. He didn't touch. Come on, man. Clear as day.
But here's the thing. You can't take away the fact that Zach Edey had, 6 turnovers? Something crazy.
Yeah.
Something that that they had been comfortable with him doing, with the ball in his hand, man. And he had a horrible game in that regard. Still put pretty good points, rebounds and like I said, points and rebounds. But again, they did not play as a cohesive unit. Like I said, the other ancillary parts, the role players, didn't, had a horrible game themselves. Brandon, Alabama's not the number 1 team in America. That means meaning like, man, Alabama on my bracket man, they'll win a weekend, but like go to the Sweet 16. No, I don't have them. I don't have them going to a Sweet 16 or Elite 8 or definitely not a Final Four. You know what I'm saying? So Alabama's going to be the number one team. I think who's next? Who's the next? Houston. Houston's a real athletic bunch, and you know what I'm saying, Purdue didn't fall that far from grace. You know what I'm saying? So again, they're playing. If they're a 1 seed, potentially going to be playing in Louisville, I think this year for the tournament. That's what their minds are. This season ain't over. You know, because they lost to Northwestern. Northwestern's a tough out. You know what I'm saying? Hell, it's definitely a tough out for damn coaches. It's trying to think he can still play too. But Northwestern's a tough out. There's playing in the Big Ten. You have more chance to, you know what I'm saying, go back up the ladder, you know what I'm saying, because you're playing a Power 5 conference than you have when you lose, you know what I'm saying, when you lose games. Brandon, they're going to be right there at the end, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the season. Try to, you know what I'm saying, fight for number one, you know what I'm saying, seed.
Yeah, they got to
they're not going to, you know what I'm saying, Matt Painter's not going to keep this team. Yeah, first of all, Matt Painter's not going to have this team looking ahead. I know it's Saturday's game. But, you know what I'm saying, they're not going to be looking ahead. They're going to take care of business tonight and get back on to their winning ways.
Right now, DraftKings regular season conference winner Purdue is still the favorite at minus 2,000. The Hoosiers are second at 12 plus 1,200. So Boilermakers are a pretty heavy favorite to win right now, still the conference for Purdue. But, yeah, freshman guard play needs to improve. You got to cut down the number of turnovers. And, yeah, and you're going to get back to your recipe. I feel like every team has a little bit of a lull. And this season, it's pretty wide open. So we'll see. Hoosiers got a big one against Northwestern. Right now, they're 2.5-point favorites up there at Northwestern. It's a shop of horrors up there. Purdue should know all about that playing there. We'll see if any players get held by Chris Collins tonight up there. I do want to give a shout-out, John, to a team that's won 6 straight. They're currently the number 3 seed in the MAC. If the tournament started today, 19-7, Ball State Cardinals. Shout out Ball State.
Dude, you got to love it.
I got to see them play again.
Head coach. Right. So what did it look like, you know what I'm saying, up close and personal?
They looked great. They were dominant. They were up by 30 at one point against Bowling Green. There was dunks. There was oop dunks. They shot the 3 ball really well. Really, really, really well. Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, we follow them here at Crossroads Sports Show a little more intimately. Everybody knows me and Brandon Reef are alumni of Ball State. But, like, yeah, Mike Lewis there, Ball State basketball is off to a good start. Dude, they still got you know what I'm saying, still a little bit of a battle. Still got to finish out the rest of the MAC play. Kent State is a tough out, man. Kent State's probably going to be the team that, you know what I'm saying, to be right there in the MAC finals. If it, you know what I'm saying, it's photography, you know what I'm saying, what Kent State kind of put out there.
They got a tough one coming up. They got to play the top 3 teams ahead of them still to come.
So, but like, no, man, that area's off to a good start, man. For darn sure.
Quick hitters, John. Daytona 500 is this weekend, qualifying tonight, and then you've got the 2 qualifying races tomorrow, and then on Sunday, the Great American Race, Daytona 500. I'm sure there'll be craziness and crashes. My God. Into the first quarter, Bulls 39, Pacers 15.
You said 15?
Yeah, they're down 24 at the end of the first.
Oh, my goodness. It's not going to be a good night there.
No, it's not. So, yeah, we've got that Daytona 500 going on. It was announced today, Tony Kanaan, TK, is going to run his last Indy 500 this year. He'll be running it for Arrow McLaren. So, TK, the 2013 Indy 500 champion, this is his last go-around here. So, it'll be another moment celebrated at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway this May. So, looking forward to that. John, we've got WWE Elimination Chamber this weekend. Some good matches on board. You've got Roman against Sammy. I felt like all the lead up was really, really great. I feel like the match is gonna flop. As much as I don't want it to. I feel like all the lead up has been amazing, and there's gonna be a flop here on this.
They put on it. Well, I mean, you expecting a 5-star situation?
Yes.
Or you expecting, like, okay.
Well, but think about it. There's no chance he's going to win. Like, just because the way they did it because of Cody, he's going to get.
Right.
So that kind of takes the luster away a little bit. I mean, they'll have a close match probably, but so.
But you got to see like how and why he don't win. Do like the Usos.
Well, Usos aren't allowed up there.
Okay.
They're not allowed in Canada because of the DUI thing they had.
Oh my God, that's right. Okay, well,
yeah.
Then what else can come into play?
Heyman.
That's what we got to think about.
Cody.
Maybe, for sure.
I mean, Cody's not going to.
For sure.
Cody's not going to distract.
Because they do a swerve. It could be an old swerve like how they used to do. So like maybe they got hit. Maybe he's getting ready to win, and Cody's like, "Nah, man, I gotta win it," and he stopped him from beating Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Or Roman wins it on a referee not looking correctly and he's got his tights rolled up or he's on the ropes or something. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. John, something you're really happy about and excited, the XFL will be starting this weekend.
Oh, my God. I love me some minor league football, man. Something that's bored me to death, man. But, like, man, you see, this is what happens in these minor league teams with the XFL or USFL, whatever, man. Guys get opportunities. And they end up like NFL teams. To be honest with you, Brandon, they scout them. It's kind of like a G League, unofficial G League, man. Guys go out here going out. I don't know if they say how much the pay rate of the XFL players compared to like USFL. USFL guys get like $40,000 for like 8 games. You know what I'm saying? And I'm assuming the XFL is running the same way. Is The Rock gonna be there? Because ain't he the owner?
Yeah, he'll be there. He owns the whole damn thing.
So it'll be somewhat of a media scrum, at least for that, to watch, man. But like, nah, man, it's good minor league football guys. Come from all some parts, Canada, dropouts from college, whatever, flame out guys. That didn't washed out from NFL, second chance league. That's what these leagues are.
R.I.P. to Jerry Jarrett as well, passing away. Yeah,
the father of Jeff Jarrett, yep. And a long time, name and promoter and all those things in the world of professional wrestling, rest in peace.
Yeah. Last thing I have, John, Tiger Woods is back this weekend, the Genesis Invitational. He's going to compete. Starts tomorrow. The 4:00 p.m. Eastern time pairing is Rory McIlroy, Tiger Woods, and Justin Thomas. If you want to watch some great golf tomorrow, that'll be your show to see. But it should be a great golf. Golf starting to pick back up now, obviously.
Yeah, I remember we had that show right after, Tiger Woods had his accident, man. He was like, "There's no way," and like, I guess there is a way, man, that he's gonna be out there, and he's he's very confident talking about it. He's trying to win. He's not necessarily out there just for a showing of his name and Tiger Woods. He's there to try to win this particular tournament, man. So we'll see what he still got left.
Yeah. Also, the Netflix documentary, Full Swing. It's kind of like the F1 series, behind the scenes and all that, the UNC. But it came out for golf. It just came out for golf today. 8 episodes. It's amazing. I've watched the first 3 already. And very, very cool behind the scenes how they do it with the cameras, following the tournaments. You're out there with them. You're starting to get to know some of the other players and stuff that you don't really get to see too much, or even the ones you do. So, very, very, very cool. So, looking forward to watching the rest of that. Anything else, John? I don't have anything else on my list tonight.
No, man. I know we talked mad craziness, man, tonight, man. It was good to catch up with Vernon from the E.P.I C Podcast, man. Dude, we got a new coach here in the Circle City, coaching the Colts. They got to figure out who their next quarterback's going to be, or the next, for the next era. So, I think we hit all points and in between, man. Thanks to Mavericks Coaching Motorsports, man. Thanks to Scott K. Nichols, State Farm Insurance, man. Thanks to Wiseman Logistics, man. How could we do the show without all those people, contributing, man. Dude, Brandon, another great show, man. Let's do it again next week, man. Thanks everybody for listening.
Thanks for listening to the Crossroads Sports Radio.